Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Alex.
And this is NFGeeks.
Yes.
We have one last few comments to make. I know that was a long video, our last one about Shakespeare. We didn't expect it to go like that. But Alex and I were talking again in between, and Alex had a few things he wanted to say more about poetry. So I'm going to give him an extra 5 minutes.
Well, because Shakespeare was an INFP. I mentioned that, and also too,
yeah, I think so too.
Edgar Allan Poe was an INFP as well.
Oh boy.
And God, very dark, very morbid.
He might even be more of an INFP than
right, yeah,
Shakespeare.
And, I was gonna say, I as far as poetry is concerned, Edgar Allan Poe is probably one of them I do enjoy, but only to a certain extent, because Edgar Allan Poe, he does kind of not wear on me, but just like it gets a little too like emo. It gets a little too like
yeah.
It gets a little.
I would even say that Edgar Allan Poe, he must have also been a hipster, because he was
Yeah,
emo before it was cool to be emo.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, and some of it, like his poem Alone, I'm kind of like, you need to get over yourself, dude. I mean, just go out there, drink a beer with some girl. I mean, really, you're that alone. That's your fault. So I don't feel bad for you. But
he died this tragic death. Do you know about this?
Yes, I know. He said,
Some
"Lord,
kind of
help my poor soul." The clothes were all messed up.
Yeah, they weren't even his clothes.
And that's totally his fault, because I mean, because he just let himself. He let that happen to himself. So I don't feel bad for him.
You don't have any sympathy for Edgar Allan Poe. Poor INFP.
No.
Just wanted somebody to love him and care about his feelings.
And it was completely his fault, because he should have made himself available, and he didn't. Instead, he just decided to drink booze like I'm going to right now.
He also wore black too.
Yes.
But he was more melancholy.
Right. But basically though, like some poems like, like Telltale Heart, Black Cat, Fall of the House of Usher, Pit and the Pendulum, I mean those are all like Hop Frog, the Cask of Amontillado. I mean, those are all great stories, and I enjoy them very much. But some of the other ones, like the poems, particularly, like Alone, Annabelle Lee. Annabelle Lee is very, very highly NF, and I don't appreciate that at all. I mean,
it sure is. But honestly,
angels came down from the sky and stole my lover. I mean, I'm like, wow, really, you're really that delusional to the. You're really...
No, that happens.
No, dude.
That happens.
You need to grow a pair and just go and find another.
Man, you don't understand.
No, you need to...
It's awful.
You need to move on. And even the Raven. I mean, the Raven is the most famous one. And honestly, I enjoy Edgar Allan Poe, but I do not like the Raven, because the Raven is basically like, it's just saying like, oh, will I ever be happy? No, you're not happy. Nevermore. I mean, oh, will I ever see my lover? Like, no, nevermore. You'll never see her again.
Okay.
Like, will I ever be happy again? No, nevermore.
Okay,
like, and the Raven's always there looking at me, mocking me, nevermore. I mean, it's like, dude, you gotta move on. You have to move on.
That poem alone, forget anything else he ever wrote, that poem alone proves he's an INFP.
Yes, it does.
Only an INFP would have that kind of...
Right, but even like the Raven, though, it's just like, it's his fault he's in this this mindset.
True, and let me say, he might, and NFs know this in terms of choice. Let's talk about him as an NF. But we will still sort of lament and express the melancholy of it in terms of our choices or whatever, or the misery. Because that's what we're actually having a consciousness contact with. Not necessarily the rational cause and effect relationship, but the melancholy feeling that when it's negative. Because personally, I'm not an Edgar Allan Poe guy either. I like a happy ending. I like they all live happily ever after.
Happy
they blow up the Death Star. They get the medals.
No, happy endings are too cliche. I mean, I actually prefer the bittersweet endings. Actually,
okay, I can live with that because that's real.
Because yes, exactly, where they are able to defeat the bad guy, but at a price that they have to pay a price.
Sure,
that is basically it's too heavy to pay. That's to the character, the protagonist. It doesn't really make much of a difference to them.
Sure,
but everyone else is happy.
Sure, I can. That's fine with that.
I enjoy those because those are realistic and those are, in my opinion, more powerful.
Sure. But to get back to the melancholy, that's what we're directly experiencing. That's our reality. Even if we acknowledge it's our choice, We're still in the melancholy, and we have to express it. Even when it's joy, the joy is the same way. But this for Edgar Allan Poe, it's that melancholiness. So yeah, we're over 5 minutes. So do you have a last word you want to share about that? Emo.
Yeah, emo. It's too emo, and I'm not trying to stereotype it. I'm not trying to like label it because people tell me, oh, well, you have to get over the label. I understand that entirely, but I mean, it's just not my thing.
It's all right.
It's just not my thing.
Sure.
I mean, I've gotten over the stereotype. I've gotten over that, but it's still not my thing. I'm just not something I'm into.
I'm not usually very emo as an NF. ENFPs are pretty happy people, but as an NF, I have to say I get emo. When I encounter emo, it's not a mystery to me. It's like, oh yeah, I know exactly, right?
Yep.
You know, the clouds, the rain. Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
All right. Well,
excellent.
once again, thank you, Alex.
All right. Pleasure.
Thank you for this extra. You know,
yes,
this is like the last scene in the Avengers. You know, that extra scene.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Great.
Yep.